Need this.
You can't tag it in it.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up?
Hey.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Y'all come on in. Look at my face. All right. What's up, good people? What's up? What's up? Let me wait on all my own people to come through. So I decided to do an actual meeting with everybody who I had a gender relation conversation with. I have Chaundra, Gwen, Shafeeq, and Rick Hairston on here today. So I'm pretty sure I told everybody to wait till about 7:15. So if y'all give me a few more minutes, give me about 7 more minutes, and we're gonna come back at 7:15 with y'all. Hit your camera, player. Wait till 7:15.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all waiting on my lady?
He said we're gonna start at 7:15.
We on at 7:15, people. 7:15.
Hey, man, I'm on. Okay. Yes, sir. My bad, sir.
You good? You good.
Hey, Gwen.
Turn your mic off, cuz. Turn your mic off, cuz.
Oh shit, my bad.
Gwen, your mic, dude. Okay. Y'all make sure. Your mic, dude. Okay. Y'all make sure that y'all share it. Everybody who on the panel, make sure that y'all share it on y'all page. And if you watching it, you know it's gonna be good. You go ahead and share it too. Except Gwen, she in Facebook jail.
Damn, cuz you ain't have to tell my business like that.
All right. Come on. Let's do this. Let's do this. What up, good people? What up? What up? What up?
Yes, sir. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good people.
I'm fantastic. Not a late. Where the ladies at?
Oh, we can talk now. Okay.
Yeah, we
Hey,
can talk now. We can talk now. We can talk now.
Hey y'all.
What's up, Miss Knight? What's up, Miss Chaundra? How y'all doing today?
I am wonderful. Oh,
Shafeeq, Rick, Sean, how y'all doing, players?
What's
What's
good?
up?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes, peace.
All right. So we had one with Gwen and Chandra with the women expressing their point of view. We had one with some men, with Rick and Shafeeq. So now we really want to get some straight. We really want to get to it. We want to address things. We want to address both sides of it so we can, hear it clearly. So let me start with this.
thank you.
So let me just start with let me see here. Let me see here. I got a lot. For the men or for the women, I have a question that says, why does it feel like almost impossible to get a woman to admit why she's wrong? I'm starting there.
Ooh.
First of all, it is more than likely because he's picking the wrong woman. That's number one. So whoever asked that question, his bad. And second of all, 9 times out of 10, it is your fault. Simple.
Miss Chandra, I really want the women's point of view.
I
Can you at least
no,
I
me
know
personally,
that
I can't give a straight answer on that because one thing about it, two things for sure, I done grew into the person that will admit when I'm wrong. So I can't tell you why she can't admit that she wrong. Maybe you got somebody who just ain't grew up yet.
Exactly. It's his fault. Tell him to choose better. That's my
I like
advice.
that.
now tell me this. Why did that question come up? I'm just gonna be the moderator today. I'm gonna try not to express any of my views, So
So
why did that question come up?
I'm gonna keep it 100. That was my question. Mostly because that's a question I feel like a lot of men wanted to hear spoken on more than anything. I know I don't speak for myself when I say that I've been in situations where it's like the wrong is like clear as day on the table, and it doesn't feel like it's being addressed effectively. And I think it leans into a lot of the other things that we're going to end up talking about based on the questions I know and the ones that I saw about just the differences in the way men and women communicate. And it just feels like from men's perspective that even when we kind of always are starting from a place of incorrect. And on a lot of levels, that makes a lot of sense. But in those moments where it doesn't, I think a lot of men can be very bitter about feeling like they've been wronged and not feeling like their partners have effectively owned up to restore their wrong. Does that make sense? It's not even just admitting that you're wrong for a lot of men. For a lot of men, it's the restorative justice of, all right, this is an issue, the weight and the work on that issue is on my end. So how do we get to fixing it?
So what is it for you? Because I've been waiting to ask you when you gonna get personable, because I done heard you say what a lot of people want to say and what a lot of people think it is, and by the book,
Who else
this
is
is
already down?
I want to hear
You need
what
specifics.
you feel. I got to hear what you got going on, because I don't want to hear nothing that sounds like it came out of my textbook.
I hate to disappoint you.
Oh,
But I'm keeping it 100. I'm speaking my mind as much as I possibly can at this point.
from personal experience.
Personally, so let me just put it 100. Personally, I'm in a pretty strong, solid marriage. We've had a lot of shit. Obviously, like anybody, been married for going on This is our 10-year anniversary this year.
Congratulations.
We were together, thank you. And we were together for like 5 years before then. And we got 2 kids. So like we've hashed a lot of beefs out. I don't have a lot of questions that I'm truly like mystified about in terms of like understanding, you know, where the ladies are coming from a lot of times. But I do feel like there's room to have that conversation further. And like, because I'm not really here personally to like air my personal issues or grievances, like you gonna get a lot of my textbook stuff. You gonna get a lot of my opinions, but okay. I don't have a lot of beef to cook.
Now hold on, Chaundra, because that was one of the questions that you already. Thank you for that, Rick. What is your perspective when it comes to why that question is asked?
You know, I think because like a lot of times, like when a brother's presenting his argument, he's not presenting it probably clear enough to really get a direct answer from him. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, because of like the woman was saying earlier, the type of woman you might have picked, you don't feel like you can be straightforward. So you're trying to beat around the bush to get the answer, and you're not gonna get the right answer. You're not being straightforward.
You gotta get to the point.
So why do you think? So this is the whole thing in the communication. This is the whole thing that I really want to attack. I'm glad y'all got to that. Why do y'all think that people are picking people on such a mass level where you know they can't communicate with each other? Because that's really why I wanted to have this conversation. Why do you think that we are even putting ourselves in situations with people where we have to where we have barriers of communication and we still go forward with that?
I want to jump in on that one. People ain't
hold on. Before you jump in, Rick started this one off. Well, no. Chaundra started this off for me. Why do you think that we, even though we hit that kind of impasse and we know who we dealing with, why do we still go forward with relationships like that?
Well, for starters, from my personal perspective, you will never know exactly who you're dealing with because you're on a continuous basis of learning who it is that you with, first of all. Second of all, my opinion, how I done seen a lot of people stay in a situation like that. Now me, you know me, I'm gonna be like Kid Rocks, because ain't too much I'm gonna take. I don't care who you is, what you do, what title you hold. I'm gonna tell you to Kid Rocks, unless I feel like it's worth fighting for. However, a lot of people just don't take the time out to really learn somebody and study them these days. Everybody just want to be like, oh yeah, I got a man. Oh yeah, I got an old lady.
Why? That's what I'm
asking. People don't know how to by themselves.
Why?
You gotta ask them, bro.
Because it feels good to be with people. We're not designed to be alone.
I think a lot of times it starts at home first. You know what I mean? You have to learn. Somebody has to teach you how to be self-confident in yourself as a person. So a lot of times when you don't even know yourself as a person, or you don't know your self-worth, or you don't know what you want out of life because you haven't been taught how to look for the proper thing, you just get out here in the world pretty much ass naked, and then the first thing you see is the physical of that person. So you liking the physical, then of course the first date's always a pretty good one half the time. And then you just jump head first to the situation because you don't know how to properly assess the person that you're looking for. And does this person that's in front of me have what I want?
First of all, people are so obsessed with a big butt and a smile or a long dingling, a long schlong, that they will stay in things because maybe the money is good, maybe the sex is good, maybe they look good together. A lot of times people just stay together for convenience, or they know they can't get nobody else. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe they so ugly they just stay with this individual because they can't get in. It's 9 times out of 10 that simple. You deal with people because of one, familiarity. You don't want to get to know anybody over and over again. You don't want to get back in the dating pool, or you just love this person and you're so infatuated with how they look. You don't want to give it up. So you deal with the foolishness.
So
that's simple most of the time.
This is from
that starts from training. Right? That starts from like the person over your head.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you have to get taught the proper tools to not keep making the same mistake over and over again.
It's insanity.
Yeah, and a lot of times, like certainly in our community, a lot of us ain't coming from a proper family structure. So that's why we keep having these problems.
So this being a question from the men that kind of piggybacks off of that. Why are women in such a rush into relationships? That's one of the questions from the men.
I think women are natural nurturers. And of course, if you're with somebody, that's what you do. So being alone is not, I think men want to be in a relationship just as much as women do. They just don't want to admit it. Or they don't want to be stuck, not being able to have accountability with one person. But I just think naturally women want to be in relationships because we ain't meant to be alone. Like you said before, we're human beings. So at least that's what I think. I don't know.
No, I ain't gonna say she all wrong, but prior to I'm speaking off of my own personal experience. Prior to me learning how to love myself, it's like, oh, this one come and they gonna show you a good time, so you gonna fall for that one. Oh, this one come and they gonna show you a good time, so you gonna fall for that one. It's kind of like filling a void without actually healing from what you just left, type shit. Cause me, that was my thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get. Yeah, cause listen, Bernard, you already know how I am. Men do it. I can't do it too. That's just my thoughts. However, it could have been, some people just don't. Me personally, I didn't love myself enough to take my time to go strategically into something like that. That was just my personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Now, fellas, why did that specific question come up? You think? I don't remember which one. I don't remember who wrote it or not. But
that was my question.
So Shafeeq, since he wrote the question, why do you think that question was so important that it came up?
So I mean, personally, I think that for a lot of men, I don't believe in the whole natural nurturer thing personally. I think that there's relevancy to that, but I don't believe in that nature tells us that. That's something we learn as kids and we're told. We see that on TV, and when you go to Target, you buy a toy for your son can be anything from a fireman to a transformer, and your daughter toys is all dolls and houses and shit. So like that changes the way we think about how that works. But in the same tip, men tend to think that we just gonna all be out here like jumping from next girl to the next girl to the next girl on a regular basis. And we get frustrated for some reason when a good woman is like, you should settle down with me. Because for some dudes, they swear, and especially younger dudes, I don't know how old everybody is, but I feel like this is kind of a younger dude issue. And I get it to an extent. Younger dudes swear that they're gonna settle with the wrong woman. When it's like, either you want to be in a relationship or you don't, and you need to be clear with that with your words and your actions. And so I think a lot of dudes don't like that women are giving them ultimatums like, look, if you're gonna keep coming through and we're gonna keep doing this, that, and third, you're gonna keep treating me like a girlfriend, and I'm gonna keep treating you like a boyfriend, then we need to have an official title.
Well, why don't you guys see that as something that's rational? If you're doing things and if you're doing relationship type things, why not put a label on it? Because you could put apple juice in a cup and you can put pine sauce in a cup, but you won't know what it is until you put a label on it. And another thing is for women, let me just say, women are absolutely natural nurturers. Even if you look at animals, the women are the ones who feed the children and protect the children. And, I think it's in a female's nature, whether it is human or male, it is in a woman's nature to nurture. That's nature. I'm not saying men don't have it, but I think men don't have it to a degree of women, most women.
Rick, what you about to say, Rick?
No, I mean, not all women are natural nurturers, because I mean there are cases.
I say most. I know it's some scalawags out there.
Yeah, but what I was like, because that was my question, like what I was getting into, not even to like the extent that you guys like kind of took it. What I was getting into is that a lot of times in relationships, people come together and they have children, they move in together, and then there's no official like title in terms of being married. And then what happens is when the relationship dissolves, the woman is pretty much takes the most of the losses out of the situation. Because even though if you with somebody for 10 years, y'all never get married, you got 4 kids, when you guys split, 90% of the time the woman ends up with 4 kids. Right. Even though you still got 4 kids as a man, but the mentality is out of sight, out of mind. So it's like when a new woman comes around and sees a man that has 4 kids, but she doesn't see the kids, I don't think it registers in her head that he has 4 kids.
So let me ask you a question from a man's point of view, because I know. Oh, I hope you're going down the same angle.
I'm about to say, like, so it's like when that happens, it's easy. It seems like it's easier for a man to always move on and get to the next thing, where a woman will actually struggle because she has kids. And so for the next guy to come along, it's like not many. Because I was saying this in the last conversation, not many dudes want to take on a woman that has maybe that much like extra stuff with her, even if she is a good woman, because of what she has with her. So it's like women are getting burned because of jumping into relationships too fast and giving a man everything. And then when it falls apart, she got to pick up the pieces, and then she can't even really move on the right way because she has all this extra baggage with her. So
now,
it's like,
A lot of this is
I want to bring up.
Wait.
Let me. Okay, go ahead, Chaundra. Go ahead.
Let's go back, because let me tell you something. Being a mother of 3 children, and both of my kids, 2 of them have their own father, and the baby girl has her own father. 9 times out of 10, if a man ain't there, and this is from my personal watch, my personal experience, listen, half of the time it don't even be on that man. So I ain't even gonna let you throw that under the bus, because it don't be on that man. Sometimes these helpers just ignorant, and they like to use the kids as collateral damage. So guess what? I'm gonna hold your kids over your head. You don't want your family no more? Okay, we gone. We don't want to be here no more. This is what they do. I'm watching one of my kids' fathers, who is a great dad, and will go pick up all his children, all 9 of them. We'll go pick up every last one of them.
You got 9?
One girl, but it's one.
Johnny Appleseed.
One that will dangle one of these babies over his head, all because we decided this can't be us. We not allowed to be together because we toxic together. So it ain't so much she had a baggage. Sometimes these helpers be wanting to claim like they single mothers and they going through this by themselves. So let's be real with you.
So the angle that I was going to add, the angle that I was going to ask you about. Hold on. The angle that I was going to ask you about was, just like on the flip side, I know some men want to address on the flip side that kind of happens when their baby's mothers kind of don't let them see the kid or something like that, and want support money or something. So that kind of situation can be on the opposite, on the same end, where you say, it's men who feel like, women are kind of. So given that and what Chaundra just said, like, what do you think about that? Like, what?
Well, I feel like, from like I think the way the women should look at it is like when another guy is coming around, if your kids aren't even on his mind, then he's not the right guy in the first place. Is what he's there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree with that. But I ain't gonna say men don't take baggage, because half of the time they got a lot of children.
That's what I wanted to address. You know what I mean? I didn't want to make it, because men say they got baggage. Men say they have problems with baby mothers too. You know what I mean?
Right. Can I say something?
So,
go ahead.
Okay, let's talk about accountability real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I do know that there are women that do that. Will hold the kid over the dad's head, X, Y, and Z. A man also has legal rights to take his butt to the courthouse and demand visitation, especially if he is paying child support. So I'm sorry, I have almost no sympathy for men who claim their baby mothers won't allow them to see their kids if they haven't taken their ass to the courthouse to fulfill a custody order. And if she's not fulfilling it, guess what? Find her in contempt, send that ass to jail. I don't want to hear that. To me, that's bullshit. That's an excuse, because she legally cannot do that. He has to go do some fucking work and go file the proper paperwork. But most of these dudes out here lazy and don't want to take accountability and say, hey, I haven't filed the proper paperwork to even go see my kids because my baby mama is an asshole.
Look, let me ask you a question though. From your
said than done, honestly, because my brother went through hell and high water, even going through the courts.
And you got to do that.
I was about to ask you a question. The way that black women are dealt with in court opposed to black men is not the same energy. That's
Correct.
why a lot of brothers don't
When it
go.
comes to custody, if you are paying child support, it is black and white, legit. There has to be a like if you're paying child support, you're entitled to see that child, period. And the custody thing is going to say something like every other weekend, blah, blah. And if
Listen,
she does not
there's
uphold it,
a lot of laws that are in black and white, but they're not always applied when it comes to us.
so let me,
That's true.
so wait a minute. So y'all saying that the laws for the white people different.
Yeah.
No, he's not saying the laws.
Okay, that's what I'm saying to you.
Hold on.
If
I'm
she
saying
is
that.
not
No, I'm not.
allowing, hold on.
The reason
If
why
she is not allowing the man to see the child after a custody order is in place, she can be held
the
in
whole
contempt.
thing
That's the
is,
thing.
the
Can
whole
be
point of saying that.
but they
Wait a
don't
minute,
push
wait a
as
second.
hard as they should in order to make sure that father has the equal opportunity as that mother. I'm telling you,
The father has
This is
to
what I'm
put
saying.
in
This is
the
what I'm
work
saying,
because
guys.
they're always
This is
going to
what
go
I'm
for the
saying.
mother.
His point is, it is the law, and we all know this from recent stuff. The law is interpreted differently for our people than it is interpreted for others. So we do have to take that into account when he say what he's
I
saying.
mean,
You know,
of course, we can take that
Let me
into
let me
consideration.
let me jump in real
Go
quick.
ahead,
So
Shafeeq.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
have a lot of experience with that, like personally. I do have a handful of homeboys that are in different levels of custody battles that have gotten real ugly and have been real cool. And the thing I think the key word that you mentioned, at least from my perspective, speaking from a place of ignorance, is that child support part. Because for a lot of these men, the capacity to pay that money is the barrier. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's like, because if you can't pay child support, then you don't have the legal protections that you're talking about. So for some of these men, like that's not realistic for them, depending on the situation. And this is not to absolve, because I think what the thing we haven't spoken on is that there are a lot of dudes, not as many as I think people think, that are not putting in a lot of effort to be a part of their kids' lives.
Right.
We gotta speak that to power before we jump into the other parts, because I know
Right.
that's the underlying thing that's the issue.
Right. Correct.
But there's so much research and evidence that shows that Black men who want to be a part of their children's lives have so many barriers that they run into to accomplish that for some of them, especially those who ain't got the super blue collar job, who ain't got money coming in left and right, that sometimes it's easier to just get in where you fit in. And that's partially an excuse, but that's also reality to a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna change it up a little bit just to keep it moving. But what this goes for both the men and the women. Uh, whoever feels like they can answer first would be good. But I thought it was a good question. What do you think are the general issues when it comes to the issues that females have in a relationship? And that's the same thing with men. What are the issues, the general issues really that females have in a relationship? And men, y'all answer the same way. Which one was that? Was that asked by women or men? Somebody tell me.
I think you had that one on for both of us, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are the issues? What are the issues that men have with the general issues that men have with females? Because Rick, you look like you was about to say something. When it comes to relationships, like you look like you was prepping.
I mean, I feel like a lot of times, man, like in relationships, that a woman doesn't take time to heal from whatever the issue was in the past relationship. You know what I'm saying? And then she gets with the new guy, and then she bringing some of the scars with her to the new relationship. You know what I mean? And sometimes they can. I mean, because men, like she was saying earlier, like we're so attracted to the physical, we'll just let certain things slide. We won't even pay attention to the scars right away. And then a year later down the line, the same scars popping up. Now we catching the brunt of the scars. Now is registering in our heads that something wrong with her. Like, but now we already a year in. She's already committed to you so much. So now you feel obligated to try to help her fix the issue when she should have
Obligated.
healed first. Yeah,
I mean, that's true for men and women.
to whatever it is that she has. Because now you're guy number 2 that did the mess to her, and then she's walking off.
That goes both ways, though.
That goes both ways. That's not just a woman thing. That's a man thing. Trust me, I know.
What the real issue is
Why do you think
white supremacy.
Here you go. Here we go.
Why do you think that because you know it came up on the men's side. I did want to ask both y'all, but you know, why do you think? Because I honestly think that a lot of men feel like women carry more baggage than men. As
It's
far
because
as
men be hiding their baggage.
to a new
Let's be honest.
relationship. I'm just saying, I think that the reason why the question came up is especially from the men's side is because they think that that's something that happens majority the time on the women's side, bringing in baggage to the relationship and kind of holding the new man accountable to faults of the older man. Now, I'm not saying it's not the same way because I honestly think, to be honest with you, I see it so much on the men's side, but men really, it's kind of like being masked in this,
This He-Man woman hating shit
kind of
that a lot of
mentality.
people be on.
You know what I mean? It's being
Yes, that
masked.
He-Man woman hating
But
shit.
why do you think, Rick, or why do you think it comes up? Whoever want to answer, why do you think that it comes up more on the men's side? Because I can speak on that.
I mean, go ahead, Fee, if you want.
Cause
So what I
it's accountability, and they gonna blame somebody else instead of taking accountability. Because I'm starting to understand that men kind of have an accountability issue themselves, and I'm always trying to say it's the woman. But baby, you might be the energy that have the baggage.
So let me ask you a question. So when on the women's side, would that be one of the main issues that y'all have an issue with, have a problem with?
Let me say what I have a problem with men. Men will point the finger.
That's what I want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. Men will point the finger. Women doing this, women doing that, women doing the other, but they do the exact same thing, but it may manifest different. Whereas we may talk about whatever is bothering us, y'all will go shut down. You have to stop doing that and then say, oh, well, y'all don't care about our feelings. Well, honey, how am I supposed to care about your feelings if you don't open your mouth? And then it's just blame the women. Women have baggage, men have baggage too. It's a lot of men out here, first of all.
Here's the thing. Like,
I'm gonna bring something else. Huh?
I don't think it's 50-50 because I said it
Who
before.
said anything about who said it's 100?
Hold on, Gwen. Hold on, Gwen.
I didn't even finish my statement.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Thank you. It is equal on both sides. Men bring baggage, women bring baggage also, but a lot of times it's just manifested different. That's all. And just because y'all see it, because a lot of men, let's be very clear, a lot of y'all will avoid and just completely bury things instead of dealing with them. That's baggage too, because now you have a woman who is invested in you, swimming around trying to figure out what's wrong with you, why you do certain things, why you act a certain way instead of opening your. That's baggage.
All right, Gwen.
Because you have issues from the past that you.
Hold on, Gwen. Hold on. Let me answer you back.
Go ahead.
Listen, reason why I say it's not 50-50 because I said this on our segment. I said that at the end of the day, women are better than we are, period. So it's easier for us to find a good woman if we lose a good woman than it is for a woman who loses a good man to find a good man because the pickings are not the same number of pickings. And it's evident by what's going on with the women and the issues that women are having with not having a good man. That's why the narrative about a good man is so strong, so much stronger than the narrative about finding a good woman because there are more of y'all out here than there are of us. So how could it be 50-50?
Why is that?
So it's like women are going to get hurt.
No, I mean, that's just statistically.
Like women are going to get hurt more than men just off of the averages of how many times you run into a good woman and how many times a woman runs into a good man. That's why I'm like, you can't say that it's equal amount of number of good men that there are women. It's not. It's clearly not based on what's going on out here.
I think what she was saying was like it's equally each person's fault when shit ain't right and people bring baggage to the table. But I think Rick Sean hit on something real deep that I was trying to touch on earlier. Like the sad, crazy reality is I don't have to be a good man to get what I want.
You sure don't. You could be a dog face.
Like, and that's like I don't even know how to really engage with that effectively without getting some hate mail later. Because I'll be trying my best, but like that's just the real situation is that the way I was about to say, this all economics. And the like we was talking about animals earlier, we was talking about like animals and female animals are more nurturing. You know where they're not more nurturing? With penguins. Because penguins mate for life. Where if you a male penguin, if you don't take care of your woman, some other dude gonna take her. Y'all see that video some years back where the penguins was fighting? Y'all remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember.
But every other animal in nature, it's the man and whatever woman he wants. And the other dudes, they have to figure out life without women. And I'm not saying that's the way things should be, but it's something we should keep in mind as we look at these problems in that we are not, and this is one of my questions, I don't know if we're gonna get to it, but we're not really raising men and women, mostly men. We're not really raising boys to be the type of men that we need in our society right now, because we don't have to, because it's not really, and it's not, it don't really serve, you know, it don't serve us like it should. And like, that's like one of the bigger elements there.
Why do you think that is?
Oh man, you know what I'm about to say, so I don't even go there.
I wanted that from somebody else's point of view. Gwen, you look like you want to respond either way to that. Why do you think that is? And do you agree with what he's saying? I mean, I know you agree with the fact that you don't have to be a good man to get where you want to be in life, you know.
Right.
But go ahead.
When it comes to, they don't invest in teaching men how to be good men nearly as much as they invest in teaching women how to be ladies. And I'm just going to go ahead and blame on a lot of it comes from the misogyny hidden in things like religion.
That would be all religion then, wouldn't it be? Because what you talking about?
Yes.
What you talking about is something thousands of years old. Like,
yes. Misogyny.
You know, it's, I mean, we can say it's religion, but is it not a natural? Is it not something that's
pretty much every culture did it? Every race did it.
Culture, whether it be a religious or not.
Well, not every culture. If you think back into ancient Africa, there were cultures where women were leaders. There were open homosexual relationships. You know, that kind of stuff was not frowned upon. But now you have certain religions where women can't do this, women can't do that, but the men can do whatever.
Well, a lot of times in Africa, when a woman was, like, say, the queen or she was the leader of the tribe, it was because her father had no male heir. She was the only
Right.
heir. So that's how she got the position. Like, she didn't get the position because she was the strongest warrior or she beat everybody.
It depends on which tribe and what region you're talking about. Like there so most civilizations, strong air quotes there, are patriarchal, because patriarchy is you win wars with that shit. You know what I'm saying?
So I got a question. I got a question from the comments for Shafeeq. So when somebody asked, Charles Edgar Hampton asked, what type of, since you said, you know, they're not raising what type of men that I needed, what type of man is needed today? And what type of man is needed different from what is needed back in the day?
All right, so I guess that's for me, but I kind of want to let Gwen
go ahead, Gwen. Yeah, or Chaundra.
Chaundra, we heard from you in a second. Chaundra, why you backing up?
For one, I don't tap into religion. Bernard know that I'm gonna just be like this. Crickets.
I ain't gonna deep in it, but they know.
My thing is, I really don't think it's the fact that it's a comparison between back then and now. It's more so, and I'm gonna piggyback on what Rick Sean would say, it's more so based on how you were taught at home. Because a lot of them, and the crazy part about it is, just like I said last time, the same respect you would want somebody to give your mama or your sisters, you should be willing to give it to the woman that you messing with. So it ain't the fact that they ain't being raised to be the respectable men that they should be. It's the fact that society says it's good for me to do it this way, so I'm gonna do it this way. So she all types of bitches and hoes, he all types of fuck niggas and pussy niggas. This is how society raises our kids these days. Listen, I understand the past. I just don't live back there.
See, I think though we sometimes forget that we also society. You know what I'm saying? Because
Because we ain't got them type of rules.
and that's dope. But I think a lot less people are doing that than we need right now. I think a lot of people are giving their kids the same fuck shit they had because they don't want to admit that they had some fuck shit to grow up in. You know what I'm saying? And like, and that just repeats the cycle, you know, and you know, somebody in the comments said therapy is free or something like that. But like,
exactly
it's not,
free.
it
Unless
actually
you
ain't
got
free.
EAP with your employer, it's really free. It's like $100 an hour.
Therapy is for everybody. Maybe that's what he said. I look at the comment. But you get my point though.
Okay, so I got another question. I want to know from the men, what's the difference between having a challenging woman and having an overbearing woman? That was a question from some ladies outside of this whole conversation.
I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna be personal real quick, Chaundra. The difference is the man receiving the energy. Because
come on, you better preach to these people.
Yeah, what?
You better preach.
Actually, I'm gonna pull from you real quick, Bernard, because a man that's really about, you know, I don't necessarily believe this shit, but this is the best way I can describe it. A man that's really about that alpha shit in his head and his spirit, no woman is ever gonna truly be overbearing. It's only when he has accepted defeat that she becomes overbearing.
Everything else is just her trying to
whatever way she can.
Your person that kind of correct shit that you do. You know what I mean? I mean that's just how I feel. Every woman that I really have come across.
Because even if y'all don't disagree on whatever this conflict, even if y'all don't agree on whatever this conflict is, there's still shit. I told y'all, 13 years happily married, I belong 10 years, I should say. There's still shit me and my wife don't agree on. And it's not that she's overbearing, it's that she's persistently wrong about this thing, and I love her so much that I'm gonna just accept that flaw, and then vice versa.
All right, so you know check it out. Let's check it out. Let's get back to the question. The question is, let me see that again. I want to make sure I get this answer. What type of man is needed today, and is that type of man different from what was needed back then? I want to make sure that that's addressed.
So the type of man that's needed today is more thoughtful about what it means to be a man and not dependent on what it meant to be a man 30, 40, however many years ago. Because I think a lot of dudes...
That's hard to say, man. It's hard
to accept, but it's
I mean, but the reason why I say that is because we still, as men, have some staples of what happened in the 40s as far as being a provider and being someone who works for your family and sacrifices your time and efforts to make sure that they have lights and food on the table. That kind of comes into
so what I'm saying is don't make that the standard that it's gotta be every time. Because there's so many dudes that can't do that. There's so many women that don't want that. You know what I'm saying?
But see, if there's many dudes that can't do that, and see, you agreeing with him right now, Gwen, but if it's many dudes that can't do that, then that comes back to the point, why wouldn't you accept the dude who can't do that and still is very, very thoughtful?
Well, I mean,
you what I'm saying? You can't that's the miss that they missing, because you know what's the difference between what was needed back then? Back then we needed providing men's back, you know, but now we need thoughtful men. But when the thoughtful men are not providers, and when the providers are not thoughtful men, then we have the issue. So this is what we hear. So how do you reconcile that?
To me, the type of man that's needed today is a man that a Black woman will look at and she'll respect, and she'll let him do what he needs to do, which is he understands that we live in a society like Feek was saying earlier, where it's not for us. So that type of man has to make it for us. You know what I'm saying? When a Black woman sees a man challenging the system the smart way, challenging the legislative system, challenging the way rules are applied, challenging the way things are, what the standards are, challenging why our their views the standard and not a universal outlook the standard. You know what I'm saying? Taking accountability that, all right, sis, you might be raising the kid, the young boy by itself, but you can't do it the right way. Let me step in there and give him some man guidance along his path and his journey. So that way, when he gets out here, he's an asset and not a liability to what we're trying to do as a community. That's the type of man that needs to be necessary. A man that's in the community that sees somebody lacking in a certain area and he's willing to step in and help that person. Because I feel like at the end of the day, a real Black woman respects any man who's willing to do that. Whether it's the help, where's the help her children to make sure that they have everything they're supposed to have in terms of psychologically, so that when they get out here as men, that they're not out here falling in the same trash we've always felt in. And at the same time, challenge the system to fix what's going on so that we don't have to keep fighting the same old problems over and over and over again.
But
and
you
that
can the system and be broke, and some women won't accept you.
Yeah, again.
That's you can challenge the system, be broke, and some women won't accept you.
Absolutely, because I won't.
And that's the flip side. I got a homeboy that I bring it up every time. Is that we?
So tell me because tell me what is it that a man is to you when it comes to today?
When it comes to a man today,
for me.
Yeah, I understand, Rick. I understand what you're saying, Rick, and I'm there with you. But it was the hole in your story is when you was like, every man, every woman will hop behind that, and the whole difference is
when y'all brought up the money aspect, that's not an issue to the man I'm talking about. He doesn't have money problems. That guy is the guy that's psychologically where he needs to be, which means he's financially.
I personally think that just because you have all of that other stuff together, there are still men out there who have money problems because that shit happens, and this is life.
But guess what?
You know what I'm saying? It may be past issues that led into that. You know what I mean? But you saying that every woman hops behind that, she ain't hopping behind that if that man has struggling times right now, even though he has the potential to be everything in 2 months. She ain't dealing with him right now. That's the hole in that. So Gwen, I'm trying to, connect the.
Listen, like what I'm getting at is that the type of man that we're talking about, there's no hole. There's no hole.
What I'm saying is,
the type of man that we're talking about that's going to do all those things. The opposition from the other side is going to try to ruin that.
That's a grown man. That's a grown man that has all his responsibilities together already.
And that's the only man that's going to be able to lead the way we want people.
I know. Okay.
Because the people on the other side that are controlling the system, they can break that man easily if he got money problems. They can break that man easily as family problems.
I understand, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of powerful people like that who are not 100K type niggas. And what I'm telling you is she ain't messing with you unless you're 100K type. Now having money is okay. Am I lying, Gwen?
No, sir, you ain't lying.
That's what I'm saying. So having money
is imperative because no romance without finance.
It's a you saying having money. Anybody can have some money, but she talking about if you're not building wealth, she ain't dealing with it.
So, but here's the thing.
That is hard to find in our community because as a whole, we have been taught how to do that.
And that's where it has to start at. We have to have the type of men we need today to be the men we're talking about. We have to teach financial education. We have to teach them.
You speaking a word to the people.
I understand that. I understand.
I want to hear what Chaundra got to say.
Go ahead, Chaundra.
Let me tell you something. That's gender. To me, that's gender bias because we always trying to put the male on the front line. Well, honestly, we gonna be on the front line together. So if we're gonna build an economic system, since we done went there, if we're gonna build an economic system, I'm not just gonna put that on that man because guess what? You might be the man that can do that. But what about the ones over here that ain't been taught that don't have male figures like you in the area? Me personally, for me, the type of men that we should be having today, respect, loyalty, I ain't gonna, I mean, finances are a part of it, but I ain't gonna put it all on him. I just don't think that, I don't think that it has to be so much as to what type of man. I think I get stuck on the fact that we be saying men and women, because me personally, I be thinking that both of them can run the show. Both of them can teach somebody something that they don't know, but we get so gender specific that we be like, the man got to do this. The man got to do that. Man, let me tell you something. I ain't the old lady from back in the G. I'm the bitch that's going to get up off the bench and you going to put me in a game, coach, and we going to put ourselves in together. That's just me.
I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see Gwen. Gwen, I need I want your actual, I want what you saying, because this is the reason why. The reason why I'm coming at what you saying is because for you, like, you want a man, y'all want a man that's thoughtful, y'all want a man that's all of that, but it takes time to be thoughtful. It takes time to do all of that. And then it takes time to get the money. But you don't want me unless I have the money. And it takes me more time to do that than it does to be thoughtful. And I think that a lot of the miss is that I can't pull the motherfucking wagon and ride in that bitch with you at the same time. And I think that a lot of the men are feeling like you want them to play a role that's thoughtful and all of this type of stuff, but then you want me to carry the whole goddamn wagon and
it's men out here doing it.
And that shit is impossible.
It's not. It's men out here doing it. It's not impossible.
It's men out here doing it. Let me jump in real quick, Big. It's men out here doing it.
It's men out here doing it.
It ain't that many.
What I'm saying is, as a community,
out here doing
about our community. We talking about our community.
Let me talk about our community real fast.
Are you saying that the percentage of men doing that in our community because they know how to do that? That's the reason why men are doing it, is because they know how to do it. Because it's
a lot more men in our community doing it than you think.
Everybody has not had the same training or access to the same exact things.
And they aren't the ones I'm looking for.
So are you saying that they are automatically counted out?
Yes.
For your daughter, they counted out.
Yes.
Hey, Bernard.
Let me explain something, because
I
really don't care how people take it, because one thing about me is I want in our community for Black women to have the normalcy of luxury. Like, it should be a
What
given.
about Black men?
Hold on.
What about Black men?
Hold on. It should be Black men too. It should be a given.
So I should pay for.
Wait a minute. Let me finish what I'm saying. We should not always have to do the struggle, love shit. That's bullshit, and it should be eliminated in our community. 50 million. If we are the number one consumers in this country, poverty mindset should be freaking eliminated. There's absolutely no reason why Black women should not be the number one women out here having luxury relationships. Not this struggle shit. We finna struggle together.
Just because you're not in luxury don't mean that you're struggling.
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm not.
That's what I'm trying to get.
What I'm telling you is,
you can have.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. You don't have to. Everybody don't have to be.
Listen, Gwen. I understand what you're saying, but for you to say that women should demand luxury is counting out a whole lot of fucking men.
I said luxury should be the norm
for women.
For all of us.
I mean, they shouldn't have to struggle.
Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong, man. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. The average love story. Hold on. Tell me if I'm wrong. The average love story is struggle love.
Hold on. I want to hear Gwen. I want to hear Gwen real quick. Go ahead, Gwen.
Am I wrong? The average love story is a struggle love story. Now, am I lying?
True.
You know what? When what was that joint? The Notebook came out.
No.
I'm actually agreeing with you, Gwen. I'm actually agreeing with you. People said
most of us come from. And you telling people who come from struggle to have luxury. That shit is damaging our community already. Even with the music, we telling people in the music, you ain't shit unless you got luxury. And that's part of what's hurting us.
No,
that's
let me tell you something.
The problem that the men actually have with women is because men are telling you the truth. What I see every day from the men that I operate with.
Bernard, you supposed to be moderating, bro.
No,
Let me
but
say
no,
something.
no,
Just, and I'm shut up after this.
Get
Let
in the
me
bottom.
say something.
it's the
Let
truth.
me
I'm
say
the
this.
moderator, Lenny.
Be
I'm
like,
the,
First,
be like 30 seconds.
Get my
let's
power.
talk about our community real quick. Hold on. Let me say
Yeah.
this. Because Little Kim said the shit best, and it was real. First, you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the respect. Black people own less than 1% of the world's wealth, and we can't even get legislation passed on our behalf because we don't have the money and the power to get
Why
the
we don't have the
shit we
money?
want. Hold on.
Because they have the
Let me-
mindset first. It starts here first.
But it can't just start. It's got to start here as an idea, and you got to put that shit in motion. You can't have.
Like they
I
did in
can't.
Tulsa.
Hold on. I don't want to be in a situation where I got myself together financially, but now I got this individual that I'm bringing on with me who's about to be a burden and fuck my credit up instead of getting somebody who is on my level financially, and we both bringing in X amount of dollars, not somebody I got to give $20 for gas every week. That doesn't make sense.
I'm not
Hold on, wait,
I'm not
listen,
disagreeing with you on
look,
your.
Can I jump in real quick?
What I'm
Rick
disagreeing.
Sean hit this last week. And
What I'm disagreeing with is when you say that we should. I understand that we should have luxury as a norm, and we should, but we're not there yet. So you telling us to expect luxury as a norm right now, and that's not where we starting as a people. That shit is unrealistic.
It's not unrealistic. You can go get it.
At least let's think stability first. When
Guess what?
If you would have gave me at first, we need to normalize stable relationships. I wouldn't have a problem with it. The first thing you said was luxury, which means when the problem that a lot of dudes are having that I come across is that that's the only thing they think is on your fucking mind is luxury. So they don't think thoughts matter. They don't think that matters. They don't think none of that matters because all they hearing from y'all is fucking luxury.
I'm gonna tell you something. The men that are offended by this are only offended by it simply because it's probably because let me tell you a truth that I saw somebody put. A truth is a lot of times men are frustrated because it's stuff. I think let me take that back. Men a lot of times want to be the breadwinner. They want to take care of their women, but a lot of men have issues with, especially what I'm saying, because they can't do that. But I think most men want to do it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why so many men get upset with, you know what I'm saying, what I'm saying. But in reality, if most men do not pick women in accordance to their financial status.
Now listen,
and that's a change.
Listen, like
if this chick is broke, leave her alone.
You're actually counting them out.
Oh, listen, do you want to take on a burden? Do you want to take on somebody who's going to spend all your money?
I mean, so I feel like
let me
Rick Sean, you go because you spoke on this a little bit last time. I feel like
let me like to answer Gwen's question, because I believe she is right about wanting to have luxury and nice things. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
In the answer, Chaundra's question is the same reason why it's gender based is because, like Gwen said a couple seconds ago, you got to go out there and go get it. In terms of getting what she's talking about, the people who hold what she's talking about. People who host what she's talking about are people who look like Donald Trump, people who look like Rush Limbaugh. Chaundra, we can be on the front line together, but in order to go get what Gwen is talking about, I have to go get that. They're not giving it to you. I don't care.
And we got to work 10 times harder.
I got a whole coach who is a multi-millionaire.
Let me finish.
Now, so it doesn't necessarily have to be gender.
You can be as strong as you want to be as a woman, as intelligent as you want to be, but you are not imposing or threatening to that other side because you are still a female. You're not imposing to them. It doesn't matter how. Oprah Winfrey is one of the most successful Black women out here. You think Donald Trump is scared of Oprah Winfrey? Do you think Mike Pence or Rush Limbaugh, one of these dudes, care about what Oprah has to say to them? No, because they're looking at a female. When we say it, it's a different energy. It's a different energy. So what Gwen is talking about, Black women should be living in luxury. At the same time, Black men, we don't need to take that as pressure. It really is a challenge, because here's the thing. We're the ones that are supposedly, air quotes, the most threatening. So that means that we're the most imposing, we're the most physical, we're the most dominant as men. So why are we not carrying ourselves?
This is my issue with that. My issue with that is when you say that type of shit, and the reason why I keep saying that is because you don't leave nigga no room to fall. And what you saying is it ain't circumstances that can happen at all where a nigga actually fall really on his ass and lose everything. That means you gonna leave when he leave.
No, that's not what I said.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I need to
of
make
course
it
not. But I'm not about to start a relationship with somebody who ain't got no money.
Listen to me, people. Listen to me, people. Listen to me. Listen to me. Just listen to me. Listen to me. What I'm saying is when you mention that we should get used to luxury and I don't have to deal with nobody unless it's luxury, you're counting people out in those situations.
But why
initially,
not?
Yeah.
Those are
Initially, yeah.
Am I lying?
I mean, like,
am I lying? You can have a million.
I don't think you're lying, but I don't think anything's wrong with that though. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. I counted.
I understand that. I understand that. But
That's
you
why
can't
that
say
man
that you'll
married.
stick with them when they lose everything and then say that you'll leave them.
That's not what I said. That is not what I said.
No, but see,
You didn't say
like,
that. Now, you ain't gonna throw my girl on the bus like that.
Thank you. That I did not say that.
And she's not going to start off by saying, I got it, he don't got it, so I'm gonna take him in. She's saying that where she is right now. Now they would have had to start at the bottom. Now we here type shit. She okay with.
In my 20s.
But right now where she is, her
standards
are
I understand in your 20s. And I keep saying I understand where she is in her 20s. What I'm saying is for the people who are in their fucking 20s, listening to you telling them that they need luxury and they need to search for luxury. I don't think that that's what them in their 20s.
I mean, I don't think it's a problem. I think if you set a standard for yourself in your 20s, set that.
They don't need to be looking for somebody who can give them luxury at that point. You need to be searching for
standard.
Stability.
Like Gwen, what I'm saying.
I understand your standpoint, but we coming from a general standpoint of how we all do this. It's not just I understand you, Gwen, and you have a right, you have an absolute right to choose what you choose. But what I'm saying in those positions, when you saying luxury, we have to take into account what we telling these younger people. That's what I'm trying to say. Just
go get the money.
It's definitely like.
But here's the thing. She has the right. She has the right to say that and make that her standard. But nobody has the right to actually accept that and choose her if they don't want to.
Exactly.
Like, so at the end of the day, it's like I don't let people who make those statements put weight, because on me as a person or as an individual, if I'm out here trying to find somebody, because that person might not be the person for me.
Exactly.
But the thing is that person can't complain. Not saying this would be the case, but that person can't complain if 40 years later, when they're like 70, they still ain't got nobody that is everybody else. now there's some accountability has to be taken. So maybe the standard that they set and how they were following through with their plan, if they didn't follow their plan the right way, because now they're by themselves.
Well, that could go both ways. You could be by yourself, bankrupt and broke, fooling with people who ain't got no money.
Out of your life? Do you think that actually is? Do you think that kind of disconnect in principles is the reason why relationships really break off? Because I think some people get into relationships for money, some people get into relationships for passion, and then those things kind of clash. I personally think that is that type of disconnect in your reasonings for getting married to each other is the reason why most marriages are.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you like this: if a woman is money based of why she chooses to be with that man and him be the one, that man will know that too about that woman. And if he chooses to marry her, he's probably not going to be faithful, because eventually along the line, somebody's going to not care about his financial success or whatever, and they just care about who he is as a person.
Yeah.
About how many people that are successful.
And it also changes, because like, all right, so
broke people that cheat too. What is wrong? I mean, everybody, it don't matter. It just financial status don't even matter.
I'm not talking about the cheating thing. I'm not talking about the cheating thing at all. I'm talking about standards being based purely on what you have.
Here's the thing. Can I say something real fast? Let me just make something make perfect sense. Okay.
That's just part of her criteria.
Exactly. But women have that criteria who don't have nothing, and that's what I'm getting at. Those women shit. I'm telling you this. The reason why this question comes as the person who put this shit together, the reason why I ask it in that manner is because there are a lot of men, like regardless of what you think, there are a lot of men who think that women who have nothing, and there are a lot of women who have nothing that are telling people they want luxury. And the problem is that listen, let me finish. The problem is the reason why I addressed it in that manner, and I asked you about those, all types of women, not just your standard, but making it a standard for all women. That means you make it a standard for the women who don't have shit, and they think that they can demand luxury as well. That's what I'm saying. That's what's happening.
Men out here that are going to take them in.
That is what's happening.
Because it's men out here that look for those kind of women. I'm telling you.
But I understand that. We that's where we at right now.
I can't tell them what to like.
I agree with that.
I mean,
I feel like look,
it's a lot of men that's out here and they not looking for that. They not looking for that. And from what I understand, most men are not looking for that. Just from the interaction I get every day, they think that y'all think that they need something from, like, it's really a total disconnection.
They think what?
I think what he's saying. He said like men, we're looking for something internal with a woman, whereas we feel like women want something financial from us. That's what he's saying.
From jump, when they 20 years old,
if they find somebody who is on their level financially,
no, you're not listening to what I'm saying. You're saying on their level, and I keep saying even when they 20, they looking for niggas with money. All the 20-year-old little young chicks right now, they looking for niggas with money. I'm telling you this. I'm telling you this.
That's gonna give them what they want.
I understand that. But you telling them that they could demand. I mean, I understand that they can demand somebody with money, even if they don't have anything, they can demand that.
Because it's the person who accepts the demand.
And I understand what you're saying, but so do y'all see the disconnect in what's happening right now? Now you see why men are upset. This is what men are saying. This is why men are upset because they feel like y'all want men to pay for everything, and then y'all want luxury when y'all don't have nothing. But we got to have something. That's a disconnect there in itself.
Let me say this. If a man is upset that he thinks women are after him for his money, two things. First of all, stop putting yourself in places where these scum-ass women are. That's number one. Number two, stop flashing your coinage, because that's probably how you getting got. And number three, find somebody on your level. Find somebody who makes the money that you make. And the reason why that's important is because when you're with that person, you never have to question if their motive to be with you is money. Simple. It's very simple.
Like
that is why I am the way I am, because I never want to question why somebody is somebody with me because I'm not saying I'm rich, but I'm saying
check this out.
If I want to go on a vacation, I can.
It's more women than men, right?
Okay.
Men, right? So how in the hell are y'all gonna find an equal amount of men that got the same amount of money as these women?
Everybody ain't gonna be happy. Everybody ain't gonna get married. Everybody ain't gonna find their true love. Everybody ain't even gonna find the person that fuck them right. Like, none of those things are guaranteed. And the quicker we all, man and woman, figure that out and stop fighting each other over not being this imaginary, like, myth of what we were promised as kids through Disney movies and rap videos, the quicker we can all get on with our business and find somebody that gets us as close to happy as possible. Because there's certain people that it just ain't in it. They just ain't, like, it's some of these dudes and some of these women that I've come across on social media. I'm like, I can tell you alone, and it's good. It's good for everybody involved that you ain't with nobody. Because clearly that's not.
How unfortunate is that? Because guess what? There's a lid for every pot. It's some men I know. It's people who I never would have thought would have been married. They married. They in relationships. It's a lid for every single pot.
I agree. I agree that there's people that are gonna get together. It's gonna, like, blow your mind. I'm just saying, if you got criteria, keep your criteria. However, you may not meet the match for it, and be okay with that. Like, and that's a man and female, because I'm not feeling her.
That's all I'm saying. You just gotta deal with
the idea that it's like
the fact that you may not, and then you can't blame that on the men out there. You can't blame that on.
Can I ask a question?
Insinuate that you not holding on to your standards is gonna keep you lonely. That's horrible.
Ain't nobody saying
people to settle.
He's basing it on the numbers of the fact that I believe is currently for every one man is 7 women. So like what he's saying is logically, you have a higher chance of not finding nobody because you got to compete with 6 other women. And that look, wait, and that's 6 other women if the guy is butt ugly, because the butt ugly is about 7 women that like him. Now the guy that's really good looking, you might times that by 2 or 3 or whatever.
That's Chaundra, what's up, Chaundra? What's up?
That's all right.
Go ahead.
Diminish your standards.
You gotta stop being so quiet. Shut it down.
No. I be wanting to hear everybody's point of view. We can all sing together, but we can't all talk together. Listen, bro. I get what everybody on the line is saying, but my thing is this also. Our people so goddamn book stuck and book struck. Do y'all not believe in manifestation? Do y'all not believe in that you are entitled? Not, I ain't even gonna say entitled. I'm gonna say that I can actually sit here because wait a minute, since a lot of people are religion and stuff, and I know I'm don't touch on this, but as my thing is, if my vibe attracts my tribe, what make you think I'm not allowed to have the man that actually, or the woman, excuse me, that actually has exactly what it is that I want?
Nobody,
come on.
So my thing is, we be so stuck. Hold on.
Nobody was not allowed.
We be so stuck on what every number says, but what happens when those numbers flip? Like manifestation is real. I don't know if y'all believe in it, but manifestation is real. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell somebody that you're not gonna get what it is that you want. To hell, I'm not.
Here's the thing for the numbers.
Because you got it.
I want to be real clear. I'm not saying that any individual person is not going to get what they want. I say everybody try to get exactly what it is you're trying to get. If my wife left me tomorrow, I may never get a woman as good as my wife. So I may either have to make a decision to be alone or bring my standards down. That's kind of what I'm getting at. And I'm not saying that's
awful.
The world is awful. We got an orange terrorist.
It's not that. Think about what you're saying about yourself as an individual. I have to lower the standard that I want in a woman because I am not good enough to get what especially you as a man who is 7 to 1 or whatever he said. You as a man, think about this. Listen to me. You have completely diminished yourself in that.
I still feel pretty good about my chances. I still feel pretty good about myself. I'm just saying,
about your chances, but don't diminish your standards because you feel like you might not get nobody.
I'm saying that
it's raising your level of urgency when you do that, not diminishing your standards.
So you'll be like, okay, I'm gonna accept a woman with hair on her chest, but not somebody with hair on her chin. You know what I'm saying?
Like if I'm at a point, like y'all are making this deeper than that. Like it's funny because I'm the book person, but this ain't even that deep. Like I know dudes that's with women, I don't get it at all. I know dudes in college that look like Tyrese and Morris Chestnut would get with whatever woman would get with him as long as he had to be alone that night. The concept of standards is mythological. That shit ain't real. You either do what you want to do or you don't do what you want to do because it ain't there for you to do it. And so
here's the thing I'm saying, like when we talk about the numbers and everything like that, we're not diminishing ourselves. We're saying like lower your standard. We're saying raise the urgency level, because when you know what the playing field is, you will adjust to the playing field. Like to make it simple.
Thank you.
To make it simple, like Kobe Bryant. They asked Kobe Bryant after he retired, like how he gets so good. He said the average player. He said the average player worked out twice a day. So he worked out 4 times a day because he'll be twice as good as that person if he did that consistently. So if you know what you want in a man or you know what you want in a woman, and then you look at the percentage of who you have to deal with to try to get this person, you're going to raise your level of urgency to make sure you get what you want. It's not saying that you have to diminish yourself. It's saying that I'm have to make sure I'm the person that person wants. And these other people that's out here.
Exactly. Be what you're looking for.
Or you, I'm going to use another
part of that is knowing what that person wants on the other side. You know what you want, but what do they want?
I want to be clear. I'm not trying to tell nobody to lower their standards. I'm just telling people to understand what their fight is and what the possible outcomes might be.
That's it. That's it.
The brother that just got cut, I can't remember his name now. He used to play for the Steelers. Remember? I mean, I remember the story if you don't know what I found.
The one who got caught with the white girl in the hotel?
Which one is that? That's like 10 of them. Le'Veon Bell, he used to play for the Steelers. He was the best running back in the league for like 5 years straight. Brother wanted a new contract. Brother said, look, I ain't playing all year. Y'all don't give me the contract I want. They gave him a contract for, let's say, $35 million. He said, fuck that, I ain't taking that. He sat out a whole year. The next year, he had to play for $28 million. And then he played for a trash-ass team and got cut, and now he's playing for like $5 million. And like, he's still the best. He might be the best running back in the league, but the outcome is not guaranteed. So I'm not telling nobody to change what they want. I'm not telling nobody to feel bad about who they are or diminish their standards. I'm saying your standards are not universal. And they're not
that's based on, and that was based on.
I agree.
That's a horrible story.
Together to be okay.
That was based on the position he played, and that's why that happened to him. Because of the landscape.
But why would use Kaepernick as an example?
Okay, hold on. We about to leave it here because I got to move on to the next thing. But I do.
And he still got what he.
Go ahead, Chaundra. Go ahead.
I said why we couldn't use Kaepernick. We had to use the nigga
Exactly. He gonna bring this sad story.
You can't use
what he wanted in the end. Some people just don't want to go and trust the process and wait for things to play out. Everybody be wanting shit right.
But see, what you're saying can be true on the side because a lot of women don't want to wait on a man to come on a man to get to build himself up. They rather have a man right now. A real man could be the man that's building himself to be where he could be. So that could be the same situation. But either way, go. Let's move on from that.
Ooh, child.
I had my next subject too, man. Y'all stop me. So I don't even want to do that one because I think that's a little weird.
The people who cut Oprah didn't know that she would be a mega billionaire. I just want to say that. She knew her standards. She didn't settle her standards.
Okay, so check it. Is he changing the system for the people, or is she just sitting by herself with her money?
Why do you guys think that? I take it this is from the men's side, that Black women are not held to the same energy when they date outside our race as men are?
Because first of all, let me tell you this.
Hold on. I don't want.
That's deep. And to me, that's society with that shit.
Let me ask the question one more time. The question is, oh man, why are Black women not held to the same energy when they date outside of their race as Black men are?
Can I answer this question?
You had your hand up. I figured you was gonna go anyway.
Perfect. So let me just say this. Black women that I've seen don't date outside of their race nearly as often as Black men. And when we do date outside of our race,
I think that's conjecture. You can't.
It might be.
I'm pretty sure that's statistically. I can probably look up a paper real quick on
Look
that.
that up. But let me just say this.
Let me help you. That was my question.
Let me finish. I just want to say my other part, and then I'm gonna shut up. My other little part is a lot of times when Black women date outside of their race, they don't come back and say, "Well, I date a white man because Black men are this." But you see the projection of Black men saying, "I don't date Black women because they're this, they're that, they're the other." You will see it with Black women, but you do not see it as often as you see it with Black men who date out there. You date whoever you want to, but you leave me out of it because you don't know me and you haven't dated every Black woman on the planet to even make an assumption as such.
Yeah, but
we want Black women not held to the same energy
about that. Because the only Black woman I know that dated somebody that's not Black but never said anything like bad about Black men was Eve. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head that was an interracial relationship that never had nothing negative to say.
Who else?
I feel like I gotta agree with Gwen to an extent on a lot of levels. The truth of the matter is, black men, I ain't look it up, but I promise you I can because I've seen it before. We do date outside our race more. But start with, most of us don't. Like 85% of all
most of y'all don't.
people are black men with black women. But black men do tend to date outside their race more. And the narrative about black men only date such and such because black women are this and black women are that. And I also want to add, every other race does that too. It's something about fetishizing women that ain't the race of yours that men of all races do. And I feel like the reason the energy is different is going back to that whole economics thing, Le'Veon Bell, Kaepernick shit we were just talking about. The truth of the matter is, if there's only 10 good black men in the game, and like 3 of them only date white women, that lowers the numbers even more, and so that changes the way you feel about that. Like I ain't gonna front. I've hated in my head when I've seen a badass black woman with a white dude or an Asian dude or something. I've hated in my head, but if she ain't cute or she like whack, I'm like, ooh, you like it, I love it. And I do feel like sometimes brothers be with these like, ooh, let me not do that. I feel like sometimes
eggshells want to bring attention.
I'm gonna let somebody else finish what I was about to say there. But I do feel like sometimes brothers will not keep the same standards of what they expect from a woman when they get with a woman who's not black. And my thing for that is, ladies, he doing you a favor. Like 9 times out of 10. We're cracking up. Come on, dude, what you got to say?
No, I'm saying like you was about to say that a lot of brothers, when they do go get another woman, she's not even that bad. Like she's not even a woman that her own people want. You know what I'm saying?
I saw a thread. Where a white girl was like
me personally, because it was my question. But me personally, I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. You know what I mean? But I do give Bernard. I can't hear you, bro.
Can't hear you, B.
Bernard, you muted, bro. You muted on the audio screen.
Unmute your other computer, B.
I don't know if he know. All right, keep going, Richard. Maybe I don't know.
What I was saying was like I do give the other dudes props that when they do get a sister, they make sure it's a bad sister. They make sure it's like she's,
Can you hear me?
They don't get like they go get the cream of the crop. Like so, I give props for props to do.
Well, my question is the question still remains. It even remains even more. If the women ain't even that bad, why do we get the same energy? Why do men get the same energy? I mean, get a different energy from women. If the women aren't threatened, because I feel like that's where the question came from. If the women aren't threatened,
I feel like no one said nothing about Kamala Harris's relationship at all. I just find that unique.
You muted, Gwen.
Me personally, I don't think that. I feel like women, and I'm gonna speak from our side. A lot of helpers might not like this, but I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of women are threatened by women outside of their race dating Black brothers. Now, if it's left up to me, all I see is the human race. I don't see a person's color. I see a person's heart, a person's insides. I don't give a damn how Black you are, but if you don't treat me right, and I got this Asian dude over here who treat me like the queen I am, guess what? I'm going to date him. And if this motherfucking hoe right here ain't treat you right, and you go over there and get you somebody that's treat you like the king you are, I personally don't see a problem with it. But a lot of the times it be women and their emotions. See, men be like, hey, whatever, float your boat, do what you do. Do what you do. But women be like, oh no, you already get the whole world. You want our men too? I get so sick of hearing that
so
shit.
Do y'all
in my life,
do y'all think that women actually are more offended than men when it comes to that?
I think that because women have been psychologically taught, oh, well, they already get the world handed to them on a silver platter. Girl, they come in and taking our men too. They ain't taking my man.
Mine's either, but I'm gonna tell you this. I always think to myself, not in terms, and first of all, I ain't never been intimidated by no white woman. Let me just say that. Or any other. Let me just say that. But the other thing is, I always think to myself, damn, all these beautiful black women, you couldn't find none.
That's because mental might not be right. She may not be right on the inside.
But I'm saying date all of them. I'm just saying that.
So what I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is,
black women, you couldn't find not one. And white women, his preference, that's his business. But I know for me,
do y'all actually think that women, black women, are more offended when it comes to that than black men are? First of all, that's the first question.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, but
okay. So
Shafeeq,
do you?
Yeah, but that's like the reason for that is not just about black women and black men. That's like the competitiveness of, like I said earlier, I don't have to be a good dude, right?
No. The reason why I have to stop you there is because you got to hear what Gwen just said.
Right.
She just said she wonders why we didn't date inside. So that whole thing is, I'm trying to address what she said. You know what I'm saying? Why do you feel like, why is that?
Why do some dudes date women that are
no? Why is because y'all all agree that y'all feel that men are less offended by the interracial dating, black women interracial dating than the black women are offended. You know what I'm saying? We less offended than black women are, basically, is what y'all saying. So if that's the case,
you need to say offended.
No, I mean, but that's what
I think the reason for that is kind of what I was getting at.
You wonder why you be like, you look at me like, why he ain't dating a black chick? So why don't we get the same, why it ain't equal is what I'm saying.
It's the same.
Why isn't it equal? Why do women,
why don't more women, right? It's the same reason why dudes. Right, hold on, y'all cutting up. It's the same reason why dudes don't. Like, it's not a whole lot of dudes that's really trying to take other dudes' girls, right? That is a relatively not gender neutral thing. Like, there's plenty of stories. There's a whole side chick Facebook group or something. Like, that's a whole thing. Now, there's side dudes, don't get me wrong, but like, dudes don't look at women with other men thinking that could be me, that should be me, the same level, the same amount as women thinking that opposite to men. And I think that's the real like core reason for that.
It's not necessarily interracial.
It's not just about the race. That's just the extra seasoning on top of the shit. It's
her problem was about the interracial thing. And that's what I want to address.
But I'm saying the interracial thing is secondary to that, though.
I understand that. But the question was specifically about
to answer her question. Not everybody goes through relationships, so many relationships right out of the gate. You know what I mean? Like, I get into a serious relationship, to me, doesn't start for a person today, like 18, 19, when they pretty much as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has 5 or 6 years of messing up to find the right person. Some people jump right off the porch, and they first or second relationship, they find that person that they bonded with. They just happened to be somebody else that wasn't black.
Can I say
the whole time?
Go ahead.
For me as a black woman, black people make up maybe 13% of this country. It's about 850,000 black men already in prison. Take the other percentage of black men that are homosexual. Shout out to my rainbow people. So I think a lot of times for us as women, the pickings are already slim.
So you see, this is the thing. If your chances are already slim, then why do you knock so many?
Don't bring that back up,
anything. I knew you were question. Like, if
they ain't got nothing to do with my I don't have a problem.
You make it what I'm saying. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. But what I'm saying is, I think the whole thing is, the reason why I'm having the conversation is because I think a lot of black men think it's hard because of all those numbers that are against us. The luxury thing makes it hard, Gwen. I'm just letting you know. It makes it hard. It ain't necessarily for me. It ain't. And I'm just saying. I'm not saying. Your standards is your standards. But you know what I'm saying. Your standards is your standards. You can have those. But I think that in conjunction with what you're saying, as far as the numbers of people who are in prison, the numbers of people the numbers of niggas who ain't about nothing, and then you have all this other stuff, and then when you add a financial floor on them, basically, you weeded out damn near 75% of the people. So what Shafeeq was saying earlier is now you're working with the 25% that's left in the pool. And you have to understand that the 25% left in the pool, it's gonna be some shuffling around that motherfucker because they already have options.
Oh well.
You did. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I wanted to break that down is to say that, you know, some of the women who are watching, when you're young and you don't have nothing, you can't necessarily expect to say the shit that Gwen's saying and that shit work for you. I just want to make that clear.
No,
You expect the same results that Gwen expecting to get when you don't have what Gwen got. And I think that a lot of the issue is when it comes to communication, period, we compare ourselves to each other so much, and we compete with each other so much that that's an issue. But
here's the thing.
Go ahead, John. I want to get back real quick.
Like when you are like where you are right now, you seem like you're financially stable enough that you want what you want. So here's the thing, like the percentages and everything we throwing out here, like, yeah, that makes sense for America, right? But in my thing is, if you're a woman that's in your status and you want what you want, so now you gotta, once again, you gotta up the ante. You gotta start playing a different game. There's black men in Canada, there's black men in the UK, there's black men in France.
There's black men right here in Georgia.
There's white men.
Who fit the bill.
Back to that original question.
It might not be in the circumference of the playing field you want to play on. That's all I'm saying.
But so let me jump in real quick. The other thing is, and because I feel like we've put the message out to the ladies pretty strongly on like how that works. We also got to put the message out to the brothers. And Bernard, I've seen you do this, so I'm not saying this to say that you don't. I want to make sure you do it tonight. That also means that dudes got to step their game up.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Dudes, like, we gotta look, if you're trying to get with Gwen and she say, here's the resume, here's the application, criteria.
I'm gonna be honest. I was a terrible moderator. I was a terrible moderator tonight because a lot of shit that you say, Gwen, they need clarity. You know what I mean? Like I'm just being honest with you. And I'm not asking questions from my personal feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how I feel about it. I think men need to step their fucking game up either way it go. A woman shouldn't even be determining what you doing with your life, period. You shouldn't even be talking shit about them, because if she ain't the type that you want, just leave her alone and let her do her damn thing. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't feel like there's a reason to talk about none of that, but I do understand, especially with somebody like you, Gwen. You know what I'm saying? You're kind of hard to deal with, dude. You know what I mean? I love you.
Wow.
Gwen, I know you. I've known you for years. You know what I mean? And I know you. You know what I'm saying? Like you. I think it's kind of a good thing, because I do think that we need women who have more standards and demand more of men. I think if we would have had a lot of this a long time ago, when rap music started popping and shit like that, I feel like if we would have had more women demanding stuff of men, then we would have men that were about more shit. Because what I do realize is that, men rise to the level of a challenge to something they really, really want. And if they see it, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they really, really want it, they'll see it, but a man can't be the tough guy that everybody want him to fucking be nowadays. You know what I'm saying? They can't be all that and then be a fucking Drake for you when you want them, nigga. They can't be, you know what I'm saying? They can't be motherfucking Rick Ross and Drake at the same time. You did,
I gotta plug my shit real quick.
Start from the bottom and have it everything and have all of it at the same time. I can't be all of that and still be as success, and all that you want.
Yes, you can.
Definitely. I gotta.
But see, that's based on the thing is that's what men see that you guys want, and it's a lot of men who really trying to get there, and the communication is kind of where they don't know how to get there because they don't understand y'all mentality at all. So what I really wanted to end on tonight is some commonalities what did y'all hear from this conversation that we all agree on what we need to work on when it even comes to communication with each other? Because as y'all see, a lot of this shit is about communication. You would avoid dating some of the people that you date if you had this kind of communication and you can see what they're about. I'm trying to really encourage this kind of communication in our community a hell of a lot more, whether we disagree or not, simply because the communication is constructive, is extremely constructive. You know what I mean? So, what are some, when it comes to core values, what are some things that we can all say that we agree on when it comes to the type of men and type of women that not only we want to be, but we want to see? And now with the men, I want to kind of, is that kind of a hard question to ask? That's a hard question to answer.
Put it in a Jeopardy format. Like
Okay.
what year?
Chaundra and Gwen, from what these men are saying, what are some takeaways that you guys can that you say that you got a little bit more understanding on how they think?
That of course they're not too caught up with interracial dating, and as Black women, it'll come back to me. As Black women, we should probably find a nice couple to settle down with because the ratio is 7-1. Which isn't a bad idea. Polygamy.
Real talk, I think polyamory is the key.
Yes.
Size polygamy again.
I feel like polyamory is the key. Like
not polypoverty.
No.
Polypoverty is just a nigga getting around.
Okay, let's get back on subject. Let's get back on subject.
And I ain't even poly. Let me make sure people understand that. I ain't even me. I'm just saying.
Okay, let me put it in this context. What are some takeaways that women can say that you can learn from this conversation? From
we all need to be able to take accountability for the baggage that we have, not only physically but emotionally, in relationships, especially. I mean, yeah, men and women have baggage in a relationship. For whatever reason, men think we have more baggage. And I think that a lot of it could be cured if, as a community, we started to accept and make psychological help, like therapy, less stigmatic, less taboo in our community. It's okay for us to go to counseling together, to therapy together. If you need medicine because your stuff is off, take it. We need to be able to encourage each other to do the right thing so that we can be in relationships and grow.
All right, Chaundra, give me Chaundra, give me something. What are some things that women can take away from this that that they can learn from what the men are saying? Just from your perspective, what have you learned, She ain't learned shit.
Nah, Reggie, shit. The accountability part is one thing from both sides of the playing field. I don't care what it is, who you are. I do understand that you have to allow a man to be a man. Don't always think that you got to be in the front, as Rick would say in my words. Allow a man to be a man. And I guess a lot of other stuff just flew over my head because a lot of stuff I don't fully agree with. However, accountability was one thing. Being able to socialize on a grown-up level is another thing for them. So, I mean, because I don't want them to keep playing the guessing game with my feelings, something wrong with me, because I've heard them say that on the previous show. Women sometimes be like, ain't nothing wrong. And all along, something is really wrong with you. So we can't expect our men to communicate if we don't communicate. Because a lot of the times we be, reacting off of emotions instead of, being logically understandable.
Shafeeq, let me ask you this. What is one thing, I think this is actually, one of y'all. What is, I might reverse it around, but one what is something that you realize you didn't know about women now?
Oh man, you need a
You
whole
realize
other
you-
hour, bro.
What did he say?
Like
You need a
you
whole
talking about in talking about in life,
I'm talking about like, you know, just from
or just from this conversation.
yes.
So one thing I feel like this conversation helped clarify is that women are intentional about where they are. Like a lot of men think that women are waiting for them to come in and swoop in and like save them and like change everything and fix all the shit. And I think the ladies were clear tonight and saying like, no, this is the thing that I want and need. And you either are that thing or you are not. And I would prefer if you are not to like keep it moving.
That was the way you just put that was like that was well said. Women are intentional about where they are, and that would explain a lot of a lot of women having those kind of standards. You know, that seem to some men aloof and, you know, a little bit lofty, I guess. It would seem like, you know, something out of their range to men because they are intentional about where they are. And if you are intentional about where you are, that means you intentional about where you're going. So, I mean, I think you just brought a lot of clarity to what I was trying to actually ask of Gwen. You know what I'm saying? Being intentional about where you at. That was a good one. Rick, what you you know, what are some things that you think that you realize that you didn't know? I'm sorry, y'all might hear my little baby in here. She mad at me.
I mean, I believe that, you know, like for one, it's good to know that there are women out here that know exactly what they're looking for and they sticking to these standards. Because that's the same thing I always, you know, when I talk to other women, I tell them like, you know, like set some standards and stick by your standards. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll save yourself a lot of heartache if you just do that because you'll get what you're looking for without dealing with all the wannabes and the substitutes and the guys who don't measure up. You know what I mean? So it's good to see that there are other women out here because I live in Philadelphia, like right outside of Philadelphia. You know what I mean? So I move around that area in New York and stuff like that. So it's good to see that there are other women in other places in our community that have the same mindset with some of the people that I've been talking to. So we moving in the right direction, I feel, as a people.
I got another okay, one last question before I leave y'all. Just real quick. What's a deal breaker? Fellas, what's a deal breaker with women?
Okay.
Huh?
Smoking.
Oh shit.
Smoking and
okay, we listen, this is gonna be a whole nother conversation if y'all want to come back again.
no smoking and trying to be bossy when you don't need to be.
Trying to be bossy when you need to be.
Bossy when you don't need to be. I relate that to a woman that talks to you as if she's talking to her son. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that shit at all.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Don't like that shit,
a way to speak to your man, and it's not.
No, that is not me. Let me tell you something about me. Like I give a lot of rah, but when I'm in love with a man, I respect that man for real. You know what I mean? Like I really do. Like I do not believe in talking down to
Gwen a sweetheart and real well. She's sweet when she want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like she's sweet when she want to be. She a hard ass though. You know what I mean? But I want to thank y'all for coming out with me again. I honestly, to be honest with you, I didn't get to half of y'all questions, and y'all know I like doing stuff like this. The more communication we have, the better it is for everybody. To be honest with you, I think we covered a lot of ground, man. Got me involved in ways I ain't really want to get involved, but I appreciate y'all for even coming on and giving me y'all time again, man. If y'all want to see another part of this and got any more questions, you know, I don't know if they down, but drop me part 4. I want you to write part 4 in the comments if you're trying to see this again, and try if you got more questions to ask them, because I know it's gonna be a whole lot of unresolved stuff in the comments.
I'm in Facebook jail, so don't ask me nothing stupid.
Oh, he locked you up? Oh man, yo,
they locked up, so don't come at us. Don't come at us sideways, because we gonna. If you do come at us sideways, leave it right here so we can address it the next time we do something like this. But I appreciate y'all, man.
When
Y'all,
I get their ass for you, girl. Even though
Thank you, boo.
that ain't my
Thank you.
character, but I get their ass for you.
Okay, thank you.
Don't play with her.
let me on y'all ass in these comments, man. But
Let me talk about white supremacy real quick in our last couple of minutes.
Oh yes, let's talk about it, honey.
talk about what?
White supremacy.
Okay. I mean, you know, let me see how many. I got 5 minutes, dude.
No, nobody want to hear my shit, man.
All right,
I got my
I ain't about to
ready.
board our viewers, man. I'm trying to get back on here again. We're like, leave that nigga Shafeeq home.
I better have y'all ammunition ready for
this is what I'm gonna say. This is what I'm gonna say. I ain't finna, man. Look, this is what I'm gonna say. Look, we got to stick together, people. Like, we got to stick together, man. We got to start, even when we disagree with each other and when we don't like each other, we got to start talking, people. Because it's other people who don't like us that's talking and they communicating and they getting their shit together. You understand? And I mean in every way. We need to be able to communicate like this. When you disagree with somebody, that don't mean that it's time to fucking dismiss them, man. Let's start having these conversations, man. Let's start having these conversations. So I appreciate y'all for coming on again, man. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Y'all too, man. Stay blessed, yo.
Stay flat.